Hopefully that's it. Alright, minor trouble out the way, everyone. Apologies. New microphone and setting up with the help of Mother Duresta. We are back and the night is saved. Good evening at long last and welcome to round 14. Doing the intro the second time round because I completely bottled it the first time. And I know traditions where Diamond Duche out on track first. You could only see it but could not hear it. Again, and by the way, new headset, Turtle Beach. Thank you for wasting 8 minutes of the stream on a pause menu. Thank you very much. Anyway, like I was saying, a few... yes, it's going to be like very hastily rushed. We got a few more... how do I say it? Unknowns in Tier 1. Got a few Tier 2 drivers here tonight just to test the waters and see how things go on. And speaking of waters, looks a little bit wet and a little bit greasy around Singapore tonight, as there's Robin, a man who we all know for his qualifying form. And yes, Silverside Boy, I've had a shocker, thank you very much. It was either that or I do commentary on half of a headset, which is held together with tape. So I had to get this one calibrated. I thought I did, but turns out reading instructions are important. Who would have known? It's a bit like T's and C's, you never read them, you just click accept. Robin up in 4th, AMS Drive, we all know him for his Tier 1 form, and a bit of Tokyo Drift as well to go with it. Drepo, Reese, a familiar name, we all know for his qualifying form. Legends up in 13th, and there's Diamond 2 and 14th, Bourbon Boy, yet to set a lap, and it's going to remain that way for an invalidation, but he's going to go for it around the streets of Singapore. And I think we'll go with the Williams for a little track guide for tonight. Turn 1, in towards turn 2, and then turn 3. And I should mention too, the pit lane around here, incredibly long pit lane, around 25 to 28 sessions you will spend in that pit lane. It just drags on and on. And you can only get the power down at turn 3. This is where this pit lane filters anyway down Raffles Boulevard. For the Williams towards turn 6 and turn 7, a very treacherous corner from Time Trials, not to go too wide. But Bourbon Boy settles very well there. Now turn 7 and then turn 8, a corner you can be greedy with, you don't have to be greedy with, to open up this turn 8 and careful not to go too wide around the barriers. Jump back on board with the Williams up towards George Russell corner. If you know, you know. And then turn 10, 11 and turn 12, the hairpin with Luke Massa made well, we won't be able to see much if we're looking at the back of the car. That's Codemasters. Anyway, turn 12 with Felipe Massa made an iconic overtake on Bruno Senna back in the day. Now down the Anderson Bridge and not quite the Esplanade, as I referred to it previously. Now turn 14 goes too wide now, and that is another invalidation for Bourbon Boy. And maybe another detour to the pits for some new intermediate tyres, unless he's either underfueled or he's not fueled enough for another run. But he's down to go again, but at least fueling a car for as many laps, you will build confidence around this track, as Robin's proven, into the 139s. And this is a man who's in Tier 2, by the way. And speaking of Tier 2, our championship leader in Tier 2, Nigel Piddle, making another appearance out on track. And who knows, maybe this is where Nigel will be spending next season, in Tier 1, rocking a Brazil-inspired Lewis Hamilton helmet, I can see. Mixture of green and yellow with a shade of purple in there too. Of course we all know the purple helmet, kind of famous now for Lewis Hamilton. Anyway, C. Davies making their return to Tier 1. Around he goes, the final few corners as Legends has dropped it at turn 8. I can see in the minimap he is out of qualifying down in 13th. We'll see a bit of a traffic jam down Raffles Boulevard with Diamond Duche. There is the Alpine of Jock, I believe. Getting out the way of everyone, there goes Diamond, and ironically enough, I think that's Nigel behind them, albeit on an outlap. Who would have thought the two Tier 2 drivers sharing the same piece of track at the same time, and Nigel sharing an intimate moment with the wall in the background. Bourbon Boy needs to get a lap on the board here. Down the newly revamped turn 16 and turn 17. For Singapore, they completely got rid of the first two chicanes at the old grandstand, as Bourbon Boy finally getting a lap together, but has entered the pits, most likely to get a bit more fuel in that car, and maybe one more run in qualifying, unless this rain does ease. But I don't expect the track to dry out this quickly. Reese back out again on track. MS drive up in second, only 2/10 behind Reese, and you got a bit of a gap there between Henkes and Dreppel, 4th and 5th. Henkes half a second and actually tying with Junivane on a 1 minute 40.599, and Henkes is down in his time for the moment. Junivane gonna charge the battery up and go again for another run. We got Ermine and Nigel setting, gonna go for another run. Jock and Tomcat in the Haas for tonight, and Jensen joining up as well. We'll have 16 drivers for tonight's race and 5 minutes left of the sole qualifying session for tonight. And that's pretty much it. We've recently changed it, so it's the single 18-minute qualifying session. And for a track like Singapore, it will definitely make a difference. The longest race time of any track on the calendar, 31 laps around the Singapore streets of Marina Bay. And it's stressful. It's very, very stressful. But I think that's one reason why drivers won't actually quite like this track. It is a very difficult circuit. Not quite like Monaco, but being a street circuit, narrow walls, tight corners, and overtaking here is so difficult. And see there from Tomcat, braking in the rain, proving just as difficult. Almost went into the barrier there at the end of the bridge. Still up in 10th as there's improvement elsewhere. Who was that? That was Ermine, up to 5th in the Alfa Romeo. There's Jensen joining up in the Ferrari. Silverside Boy up by 3/10 in their lap. You know what? We'll stick with Silverside Boy. He's not had the best of form, I would say, in Tier 2, but I don't think he would even argue with that. It's been a very mid-table performance from Silverside Boy, getting a few points here and there, and also being somewhat unlucky in certain races, just not working for the Red Bull driver there. But maybe a bit more luck tonight in this lobby, and maybe a bit more practice for tomorrow night. We'll find out soon enough, because tomorrow night I won't be here in commentary. I know I hear you all cheer with glee and ecstasy. I will not be here for tomorrow night as Tier 2 take to Singapore. Silverside Boy around the final few corners. This actually looks pretty quick for Silverside Boy. Up to 9th. Found 7/10 in his lap, but a 140.9. That would give him a little bit of confidence to the race. But anyway, yes, like I was saying, I will not be here tomorrow. I believe for tomorrow it will be David Lawface and Monkey Boy Kurt. Two very familiar names in FPRL, taking you for 31 laps around Marina Bay in Tier 2. What could possibly go wrong? Good luck, commentary team. As Dreppel has displaced Reese up the top, and Nigel as well, up to 3rd on a 139.7 ahead of AMS Drive. Well, see, I don't watch, I don't watch Tier 1 too much. This is pretty quick. This is coming from someone who didn't set a qualifying lap last time because he misjudged the timings going to the track. Yes, that's why I started last. Anyway, who else? Robin's still just about in the 139s, but might have invalidated his run. He'll have one more lap should everything go smoothly here for the AlphaTauri. Or yellow flag. That is a Mercedes, and that is going to be Henkes on our outlap. I think just keeping out the way of everyone. Nigel retiring in the pit lane. Done all he can do and is up in 3rd so far. See if anyone else can challenge or better at Ermine on their final run. So's Robin, but they're down in their time by 10.5. In towards turn 9 and turn 10. AMS Drive going to get ready for that outlap. Reese going to have one more run himself. Not going to bother too much about that. Silverside Boy is going to call it a day. Down in 10th. If he stays in the top 10, that'll be a solid effort for the Red Bull driver. See what Jock can do. And taking it very greedy there. In towards turn 10 and turn 11. And through turn 12 over the bridge towards this hairpin. Such a difficult braking point. You're braking going around the corner, which is never easy to do. As now Jock down the Anderson Bridge towards turn 14. Hard on the brakes. Just about hits the apex and doesn't run too wide, which is important for your lap because it would get confiscated, aka invalidated. The Alpine down to the new turn 16-17 chicane before the final double left-hander. Careful not to go too wide or to go too tight to the inside, but Jock fares quite well. And now through to the line, short run. Puts him 7th on a 140.1, just behind Ermine, but ahead of Tomcat as the checkered flag is out. Who else is improving? Junivane is on their run, but what is their split? We'll find out in a second. So is Henke's. Oh. Well, Junivane split his car in two, so there's that split. Henke's heading towards where Junivane actually is. Careful not to go to the inside and do a George Russell stunt. Well done. AMS Drive up by 3/10 at the moment, and the other Aston Martin down the end of the second sector is up by 6/10. Oh dear, Drepo, you better be improving on your lap time here, and Reese, you better be challenging him, because Reese is actually ahead of AMS Drive on track. So we'll see what Reese can do, because I think AMS Drive right now is looking good for another pole position here in Tier 1, unless Reese can put a stop to it around the final few corners for Reese. It's a 39.3 for the Red Bull, but what has AMS Drive got up his sleeve? It's a 138.9. When it matters the most, AMS Drive arrives on the scene, but what can Drepo do? He's up by 3/10 himself. If he can find another couple of tenths in this final sector, Drepo could pull out quite a shock against the Aston Martin around the final few corners. Runs a bit too deep in the curb, he has to back off of his lap, and that slight bit of greed was a little bit too much for Drepo. He's going to end up third, and AMS Drive will take pole position for tonight's Singapore Grand Prix. And what can Jock do? Not much. They have backed off of their lap and will stay in 8th, and that is all she wrote for qualifying. AMS Drive back in familiar territory at the head of the field. And chin chin to all of you. Yes, I just had a drink without a drink with it. You know what? I'm just going to tip myself right now. Redeem drink for commentator. Thank you very much, Cruiser, for a drink. You're welcome, Cruiser. And I think now, yeah, we're just waiting for Jock to get into their pit box and into the garage. And that'll round out our qualifying session with AMS Drive, Reese and Drepo, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. But looking as well, Nigel, Robin and C. Davies, 4th, 5th and 6th. And there are a few invites for tonight. I think a bit of a one-time thing for the moment, as that's actually somewhat competitive between the trio. C. Davies a couple of hundredths behind Robin and 2/10 behind Nigel. Ermine will take 7th for the Alfa Romeo team. Jock, Henkes and Tomcat round out the top 10. Bourbon Boy didn't get a lap together in qualifying. Legends crashed out early on in qualifying. Jensen late to the party and has ended up 14th for tonight's race. Diamond, Silverside Boy and Junivane, making a mistake on their last run, will start outside the top 10. And now on to the race. Let's see what Tier 1.5 has to offer, because I might actually refer to it. You know, should I change the title to Tier 1.5? Because we've got a half and half of drivers here. But we'll see what the race has to offer. Please no rain. It's going to rain, isn't it? Build the suspense. We're still loading into the lobby. Let's see. Oh, God. Good. Shout out to David Loftus. Yep, we are driving in a hurricane right now. Not quite rocking like a hurricane, but yeah. It's wet, wet, wet for tonight's Tier 1 race. Oh. Yeah, well, good luck, guys. I would say rather you than me, but I think there's a high chance Tier 2 is going to see rain as well as Tier 4. And Nigel Piddle saying that Storm Kieran has hit Singapore. No, certainly a tropical storm by the looks of it. Nothing really more to add about the weather. But, yeah, how about Man United, you know? Good laugh. Yeah, now we're at the stage where I don't really know what to talk about or to mention because there's nothing to mention. But, you know. Twitch chat. Who's winning tonight's race? I need a bit of interaction. I need something to keep me going, you know? Nigel's a colourful term of phrase saying, why are we talking about rubbish? Why not? And he's saying, how about Rangers thrashing Dundee 5-0? I'm not going to refer to them as, well, to be fair, both Dundee clubs are that, Nigel. I'm not going to say what they are, but they know. But I'm not. If I talk about Rangers, I'm going to get into it for like 10 minutes and forget about the race. All I'm going to say is, Philippe Clement is manager of the season. What a hero he's been. And we've got the new incarnation of R9. We've got Danilo 99. That's what we've got. Glory, glory, Stumdy United, says Nigel. Lovely. Enjoy the championship. The Scottish Championship, which is worse than England League 2. Scumdy versus who is it? Forest Green. That'd be funny. Yeah, speaking of Forest Green, Duncan Ferguson. What a guy. I don't know why I bring it up, but apparently he's doing well at Inverness. And Robin redeeming a drink for Cotoms. Sure? Yeah, do you want me to take the drink for you? Sure. Right, well, Cotoms has agreed that I should take the drink for them, so they'll thank me for my drink. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I suppose, well, good luck to all drivers tonight, and tread carefully, because it's not fun driving this track in serious wet conditions. By the way, should we not red flag this race, because we never do any wet weather races nowadays? Literally, as soon as it goes to wet weather tyres, red flag. That's what it is. We never have a wet race anymore. Actually, you know what, let's talk about that. It's Brazil this weekend, if I'm correct. The Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend, the final sprint race of the weekend of the season. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. Hamilton's winning the race. I'm gonna say it. Hamilton's winning is gonna win it at Brazil. And Nigel's saying it as well. Yep, I'm gonna say it. Hamilton's gonna win. Max will probably end up 3rd or 4th. And Checo, well, no, I'm not going to talk about that. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. In big trouble. Let's just say I prefer Daniel Ricciardo at Red Bull. Open up a can of worms. And away we go for the formation lap to tonight's race. And no prizes for guessing which tyres everyone's on, because it's a sea of blue. Everyone's on the wet weather tyres, and I don't blame them. Unless you want to let out the steamboat, not quite the steamboat, the speedboats. That's what you need. You need a rudder to get around these corners at some stages. Anyway, we'll run through the grid very quickly. Bourbon Boy at the back of the pack, and might need a few more Duracell batteries to get himself up to the head of the field, but a long way to go for the Williams. AERT Legends in the McLaren, 15th for tonight. Jensen a bit late of an entry, but is in 14th for La Ferrari. Diamond in 13th place, unfamiliar territory for Diamond, starting this low down the order. Silverside Boy, roughly where he's been all season, in the mid-pack, down in 12th. Genevieve in 11th for Aston Martin, and a steady going driver in Tier 1 this season will make his way up through the pack, I'm sure. Tomcat in 10th for the Haas team. Then we got Henkes 9th for the Mercedes. We're doing well recently as Henkes, and we'll hope to continue that form. Jock in 8th for Alpine team. And then the double Alfa Romeo, Ermine and C. Davies on their return to Tier 1, up in 6th ahead of his teammate, which is good going for Mr. C. Davies. Robin in 5th, a title chaser in Tier 2, and the championship leader of Tier 2, Nigel Peddle, in 4th. And that Mercedes also. Drepo in 3rd for the other Alpine. And the front row this evening is Reese and the one and only AMS Drive. As we make our way around the final corner for the Aston Martin driver. Bourbon Boy not even at turn 16 yet, so AMS Drive will be sitting a little bit longer on the grid, but looking at that position in towards the grid box, he's going to be pointing very aggressively actually. Straight arrow towards turn 1, and you're looking at Reese there, he's pointing a little bit more towards the right, looking to try and get ahead of AMS Drive if he can, as there's the field. Filtering into their grid boxes, we await 31 laps of a grueling Singapore Grand Prix in our Tier 1 category. The lights soon to illuminate the sky, along with the lights around the track. 5 in total, 16 on the grid. It's lights out and the race is on. Looks like Reese got a better start on the front row, but AMS Drive a better second phase in towards turn 1. Holds his lead against the Red Bull of Reese. But looking back, I think Jock might have hit a few problems actually, as there's Tomcat making a few places up as well, going around turn 1 and turn 2. Jock in a little bit of trouble here, as well as Drepo, who's lost out massively at the start here, because C. Davies and Robin going at it in towards turn 4. Robin forces C. Davies up against the wall, but C. Davies holds strong. As there's the MS Drive, he leads him away with Reese in second, Nigel up to 3rd, and these three starting to pull away from the mid-pack, which is quite hectic to say the least, is down the end of Raffles Boulevard in towards turn 6 and turn 7. A few wide there at turn 7, but nothing really to report, as there's Tomcat very late on the brakes, just about to voice the back of Ermine, and Jensen hit the wall. Jensen is out, he braked too late, and that's a virtual safety car. And I think that lack of qualifying practice might have paid dividends for Jensen. That is not what he needs for the start of the race. But hey, at least he can get dried very quickly and out of that race suit. So virtual safety car here at Marina Bay. MS Drive and Reese still 1 and 2. Nigel making a place up to 3rd. Let's have a look at our positions graphic. It's C. Davies actually up 2 places. That's a great start from them. Bourbon Boy up 6 places in 10th, and now it's been upgraded to a full safety car. That's a very late call, that, but we'll go with that as has been I don't understand why that's now a full safety car, but we'll sit tight for the moment. As mentioned, Bourbon Boy up 6 places, both McLarens making up places, Diamond and Legends up 1 and 2, Junuvane and Silverside Boy losing a few places too, and Drepo, a poor start from them from 3rd down to 6th. But I'll say this, Nigel Peddle could be a dark horse in this race, as well as C. Davies and Robin. All these drivers in a bit of an unknown, and despite what the timing charts show, I can guarantee you that Reese isn't 2 minutes ahead of AMS Drive, and is also not 2 minutes ahead of Nigel Peddle. It should get fixed at the end of the lap. Timing charts normally do that. Well, I say they shouldn't normally do that, but they do that in this game. As well as Bourbon Boy being 2 minutes and 15 seconds ahead of Henkes. Oh, they never change. Never change. So, let's, I'm going to put my feet up, or metaphorically put my feet up, and talk about the Brazilian Grand Prix. One of my favourite tracks on the calendar, and possibly my favourite race of the season. And then following that is Las Vegas. I am not watching that race. I've said it and I'll say it again. for those who probably don't know, I am not a fan of the track. Yes, I have played it in the game, so it's going to be different, but it's not a racetrack. It's just a glorified drag strip. It's a famous name with a few corners and endless straight lines, and then a 2-mile sprint down the Las Vegas Strip. If you want to do that, just close off the street for a Saturday night and do drag races. And no, I'm not saying that it's going to be, well, I am saying it's going to be a bad race. I'm going to say it. It's going to be a bad race and not worth the effort of staying up getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to watch the race. If I wanted to do that, I would watch the Australian Grand Prix. I'd actually stay awake to watch that. There you go, full rant of Las Vegas, and that was one lap done. Right, 28 more to go. Lovely. Bit of a Twitch interaction with you all. What are your thoughts on Las Vegas? Let me know in the Twitch chat. And yes, it's just an excuse to say, of course, all of our races are streamed on twitch.tv/FP Racing League. If you guys want to join up the league, Nightbots drops a link to our F1 server Discord, and be sure to click the link that Nightbot sends, complete the recruitment steps, and this will be you one day, hopefully, in a lobby with, I would say, some of Xbox's finest and elite. And yes, for the moment we are an Xbox only league, sorry. But still, fun, entertaining racing nonetheless. And something as well to quench your thirst for racing between Wednesdays, Thursday and Friday. Tier 3, Tier 1, Tier 2 and Sunday, Tier 4. All of our races at 8 PM UK time. And, 8 PM UK time on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday. Our next race will be tomorrow night, Friday the 3rd of November. And that'll be the Tier 2's turn before the 5th of November, Bonfire Night. And there'll be a few fireworks on track for Tier 4 to round out our week at Marina Bay. Before, I believe, we pack our bags and head off to Qatar. Track which I, for one, am slowly starting to like. And yeah, ads. Crews are my favourite commentator. Oh, thank you for the bias. And Silverside Boy say not long left to go. It'll be 27 laps remaining at the end of this lap, which the safety car will peel into the pits, and AMS Drive will get us back underway for the first time tonight. A safety car to the name, and actually I think the first full safety car of the week. Tier 3, somewhat uneventful to be fair. Stiffmeister, I love you as my teammate, but you couldn't have slowed down to make it a bit more interesting. It was like racing with Diamond again around Miami. Yes, I said it. Hi, Diamond. Sue me. Anyway, AMS Driver getting back underway at 1 point. Well, he went for it there at the end of the chicane, but no, he's going to back him up a little bit more towards the start-finish line. And away we go around the final few corners for the Aston Martin driver. And lap 4 begins now, with Reese, Nigel, C. Davies, Robin, Dreppel looking to make up places from that horrible start he had. Ermine, Tomcat, Jock and Bourbon Boy now the top 10, with Diamond looking for a move actually on Henkes in towards turn 1, and there's a few more unorthodox lines there. That's Dreppel going wide and then trying to make up a place. He's lost another one now to Ermine. Dreppel really struggling here in the wet now. Tomcat running around the outside of him at turn 4. Dreppel sinking down the order. Next up now is Bourbon Boy, who's got an almighty launch there against Jock, who had to back up because of his teammate. Now Bourbon Boy's through up to 9th, looking for a move now on Dreppel, who just doesn't have any confidence at this moment. Going through turn 6 in the get, he just doesn't have any grip. There's the Alpine driver. Now Bourbon Boy looking around the outside, he tags Dreppel, he gets a bit thrifty. And Bourbon Boy goes through and Dreppel moves over. I think Dreppel might have a problem with their setup. They are not having any grip or any luck on this surface. And speaking of no luck, Henkes dropping down the order too. Not sure what happened there with the Mercedes. I was too occupied with Jock to really notice. But the top 7 starting to form their own little group there as that's C. Davies actually An almighty snap of oversteer, just about kisses the wall, and almost kissed his race goodbye there at the end of the hairpin. But C. Davies still up in 4th now, being heckled by Robin, going through turn 14. And there's Ermine going deep into the barrier. I don't think he hit his front wing too hard, but it's going to be front wing damage if there is any. And I don't think there is, but he forces Tomcat right up against the wall. The Haas getting the better run on the Alfa Romeo in towards turn 16. It's the inside line now, the outside line for Tomcat. The better traction around the outside. Is he going to hold it there? Yes, he is. Tomcat up to 6th place and is making his own charge through the dread as well as Bourbon Boy. The Williams here, quite like the powerboat, as I mentioned you needed, and through he goes in towards turn 1 ahead of Ermine, and Bourbon Boy already up 9 places in 5, not even 5 laps, we're on lap 5. 9 places in 4 laps for the Williams driver. That is an almighty effort, and we've still got a long, long way to go in this race. Let's have a look at the top 3. Starting to form their own little group here actually. C. Davies getting a bit occupied with Robin. I think everyone now is just slowly starting to filter in to their own little groove and races. Robin actually looking down the inside of C. Davies. C. Davies now the inside for turn 80. A bit of an unknown overtaking spot, but Robin still holds it around the outside. These two going wheel to wheel in towards George Russell corner. I think Robin, he's got to back out of that. And C. Davies takes a tighter line, cuts off Robin, holds the inside line. And C. Davies fends off that attack, at least for the moment, as Aziel flat for the back. I think Legends has spun. He has spun at turn 10. Either that or he might have been collected by someone, I'm not sure. But that Legends, it's not been their night so far for that McLaren. But that now means that Diamond's now promoted up to 10th. And next up for him is going to be the Alfa Romeo of Ermine. For the back, there's Drepo looking for a move on Silverside Boy. Not quite at the end of the bridge. But Diamond still holding his own here against Ermine. Now through towards turn 16 we go. Not quite going to be an overtake for McLaren, but is there an overtake here for Robin? He's been heckling C. Davies throughout this whole lap. He just hasn't found a way past. And that gap has went up around 2 seconds in as many sectors between Nigel and C. Davies. All this fighting and squabbling here for 4th place to C. Davies. That's a very deep line in towards turn 1, but it's worked out a little bit actually for the Alfa Romeo driver. And should say too, with the rain, no DRS for the opening 2 laps and for the remainder beyond until the track does dry up. And to be fair, DRS would be exactly what Robin needs at this point. But Singapore too, it's a terrible track for battery recharge, but I don't think that's going to care much for Robin. He's looking for the move, the overspeed down the inside at the end of Raffles Boulevard, gets the elbows out of C. Davies, he forces him onto the curb, but C. Davies, he holds it around the outside, now the inside line for turn 7, and C. Davies, this is a very strong, stern defence here from the Alfa Romeo driver, really is absolutely fantastic from C. Davies, and brilliant racing. Robin's got to be growing frustrated here, but there's Bourbon Boy looking for a move. He's got by Tomcat, and now he's set his sights on Robin. And to be fair to actually to Bourbon Boy, from the back of the grid, he's only, what, 9 seconds off of AMS Drive, and AMS Drive holding Reese at arm's length of around 1 second and 1.2 to Nigel. But this is where all the racing is. This fight for 4th place. C. Davies, Robin, Bourbon Boy, Tomcat and Jock right on the back of the Haas driver, not quite letting Jock through. There is Tomcat, but he's holding his own. And there's Diamond actually getting by Ermine, who's actually, I think Ermine made a pit stop and all that. I did not, my awareness tonight has been absolutely shocking, I do apologise. As C. Davies still defending against Robin, and this is all fun and games for good racing. But it's completely ruining both of theirs now. 6 seconds behind Nigel, and all this is doing is just holding up Bourbon Boy and Tomcat and Jock. Robin must be growing increasingly frustrated here at the back of C. Davies. Although one part would tell me he's growing frustrated, another part he's shown a little bit of respect actually to C. Davies. Brilliant racing so far between the pair of them, but this is where Robin has had the advantage, and he's got a better straight line speed than C Davies. He's going to look for it in towards turn 6, but not quite there. But C Davies goes a little bit deep. But again, the nature of Singapore, it's such a bad track for overtakes. You've got to rely on another driver's mistake, or for you to just absolutely go for it at one stage. And Robin, I think he's probably thinking more of that as C Davies. That may be the mistake he needed, and that's the mistake he was looking for. C Davies is gone. A twitch at the end of turn 8, and that is it for the Alfa Romeo driver. And that's another safety car at Marina Bay. And oh dear, C Davies. He's not had an ounce of luck at all this season. That's a very interesting place though for an oversteer moment. Well, not even oversteer, just wheel spin. The most random road wheel spin in like 4th gear out of turn 8. Now what will these drivers do? AMS Drive thought about pitting, playing a few mind games there. Nigel stays out as well, then 7 seconds back to Robin now. Oh my. As there's Bourbon Boy making the call to go into the pits. So will this be another set of wets? Oh, Ermine. Oh dear. And I think that's one way to get rid of Delta, question mark. And it is another set of wets for Bourbon Boy. I mean, surely you can't get to the end on these tyres, right? I've actually been informed by Twitch chat that there's been a few Tier 2 drivers to have made a mistake the way C Davies did and taken out the race, but it's a very unknown place, as Ermine has called it a day with the drive-through penalty. And I don't know, there's a long way to go in this race. He might be regretting that decision, but Ermine, I think, is just going to accept their fate and is going to call it a day. Lap 8, and they are out. 3 drivers out of this Tier 1.5 Singapore Grand Prix. And so far, steady business for AMS Drive. Still keeping ahead of Reese and Nigel, very much holding his own at the moment in 3rd. And C Davies actually giving us a bit of an update in Twitch chat, saying that he did lose traction, so a wheel spin or oversteer, and tried to correct it, but the minute it snapped back, it was game over. But still, it's confidence, I think, for C Davies. Knowing he could keep up with a driver like Robin and actually defend very well against him. It must be said, some great racing between the two of them. Unfortunately, a bit was been called off a bit prematurely from the Alpha Tauri and the Alfa Romeo. As we go again for another lap behind the safety car, lap 9 at Singapore. Nothing really more to say or nothing really to mention. Just steady business for AMS Drive. Reese still holding on to the back of him, and well, actually a bit of a positions graphic. And yet Ermine did make a pit stop before he called it from the race. As Legends making a pit stop too. We can actually have a look in the McLaren camp, and is that a set of wets? We'll find out shortly. I think it is. As he peels to the left, yes it is. There's another set of wet tyres for Legends, and probably an incentive as to what is going on in this race. And it's going to be memory of Silverside Boy. Batteries ran out. Love to see it. Honestly. Kodak. You're terrible. No, I got a battery notification saying your batteries are low around 20 minutes ago. And they just died. My batteries were dead after 20 minutes of a warning. All I'm going to say is thank goodness I wasn't racing. Anyway, speaking of Silverside Boy, what are they on? They're on a set of inters, but I want to know what else they're on behind that controller. Because looking at this weather, either this is going to be a blunder or a blinder. And I see David Lowface is not best happy with my choice of battery. Yeah, well, it was short notice. Okay, David, it's literally a pack of 4 batteries. I'm gonna get more tomorrow after work. Sorted. Get it good. Lap 10 on the safety car. Oh my god. I changed my batteries. Had a rant about Las Vegas under the first safety car. And we've not even done 2 laps. I'd say rechargeable port batteries all the way. I would, but I also wouldn't because I don't trust myself to charge up the rechargeable pack. So what do you want to talk about? David voicing his love for Duracell, and I agree, Duracell is the only way to go. I talked about Nigel. I personally wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to talk about that. I'm gonna leave it to the viewer's imagination watching this later. David saying, let's talk about you and me. Yeah, but swap days in commentary. I know there's a reference in that somewhere. Let's talk about you and me, or however the song goes. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Someone redeem a truth or dare and request a karaoke song. I am that desperate. I am that desperate for interaction in the Twitch chat. Besides, yeah, you know, where is Crossray in all this? Because he would have this on standby at the moment. Safety car at the end of this lap. Thank you. Lap 10 at Singapore. Going on lap number 11, and Aston Martin leading the way. It was fun at the start of the season. Now they're at the back of the pack, like normal. David, deal. Next safety car, karaoke. Let's go. And let's go racing. AMS Drive leading them off for the second time at the end of the final corner. Away we go, 2 tenths clear. Nigel, a bit of a twitch actually there. At the exit of the final corner, there was a move. Jock looking at a move in towards turn 1 as my voice, and my first voice crack of the evening. Bourbon Boy looking for a crack against Junivane, and down the inside he goes at turn 3, away he goes. And Bourbon Boy back up 1 place, up to 7th, and Silverside Boy finding out that was not the right call for tyres. Who would have thought? Not me. Nigel actually looking for a move here on Reese, not quite close enough, as there goes Jock around the outside of Tomcat. Had to let him through there because of an illegal overtake. There goes Bourbon Boy around the outside of Jock around turn 6. Is he going to hold it around the outside? Not quite. He's looking for a move in towards turn 8. He's just letting Jock know he's there, forcing him a little bit wide. But he's going to filter in behind the Alpine, is he? I certainly hope he is, and that's exactly what he does. Thank goodness. Just 2 wide at that corner is a recipe for a disaster. Should mention too, Bourbon Boy has actually made his pit stop, so he technically could go to the end of the race. Twitch interactions is fun. Jock, Bourbon Boy, Junivane, Diamond and Drepo, the top 10 at the moment. Silverside Boy, again finding out his tyre call was not the right one, as he's now under pressure from Henkes at the end of the Esplanade Bridge. Diamond down the inside of Drepo, Junivane and Jock. Jock's actually lost time somewhere against Tomcat and might have made a mistake. As now Tomcat looking for a move on Bourbon Boy. Bourbon Boy has actually got done the pair of them there. They're completely unnoticed. And Bourbon Boy up 2 places in the one go as, oh, Jock's got front wing damage. That answers a lot. And, well, there goes Diamond against Jock and Junivane. 2-1 for the McLaren driver. And that's all she wrote. For that exchange, Jock's still muscling on though. It might actually wait for another safety car to get that front wing changed. Junivane very wide at turn 1. They missed a braking point, but still behind the Alpine. Look at this fight now for the lead. AMS Drive and Reese still going on as they were. Meanwhile, Nigel and Robin draining that bastard, looking for the move against Nigel. Nigel defending to the inside at the end of Raffles Boulevard. Robin looking for a move around the outside, gets forced in a curb by Nigel. He's looking for a cut back though, and Robin! Oh, wow! That is how you overtake. Bourbon Boy getting by Nigel too, and that's 2 in as many corners for Nigel Pedro Tools a place to. Now Drepo looking for a move against the Mercedes, but Nigel holds strong in that exchange. Goes a bit deep though, but you never get a pass here at this section of the track unless you're a brave, bold, or quite frankly, ridiculously silly. Is now down towards the hairpin, goes Drepo, a bit squirm as he brakes. Forces Nigel wide, but Nigel will get the better traction. They rub wheels, almost cause an airplane crash, but Drepo through against Nigel. Nigel's going to brake a little bit deeper at the end of the bridge. Nigel, that is too deep. Oh dear. Good. Right, David, get the jukebox ready. Another safety car. Nigel, that even I'll say Nigel, that was a little bit too late on the brakes. David, truth or dare? Oh, I wonder what I will choose. I will choose dare, David. Do your worst. As now is going to be a whole flood of pit stops here, as everyone on a set of wets. I think Silverside Boy has realised his mistake and is going to go on a set of wets himself. Yep. Nigel saying that he's very sorry. Now, you're allowed the mistake once. Just don't do it again. Don't do it again. Don't do it again tomorrow, okay? We need constructors' points. Slap in the wrist for you, Nigel. Anyway, Bourbon Boy, last to first. Completed. Diamond now second. Heinke is now third. MS Drive, Reese, Robin, Drepo, Tomcat, Junivane, Silverside Boy, and Jock. 11 drivers remaining for Marina Bay. Singapore are claiming victims tonight. 5 drivers are out. And we're not even at half race distance. Oh. This is not going to be fun. I'm going to be on a diet tomorrow of soothers and Monster Energy or something. David saying, can you right Jake's wrongs from last night? The first couple of lines from You Dev Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi. And if you're feeling good, then maybe a chorus from Living on a Prayer. Don't get me wrong, 2 really good tunes from Bon Jovi. However, I only really know the chorus for You Dev Love a Bad Name. Right, time to look up the lyrics. Fine. Right, screenshot. There we go. Right, lads, get the clip button at the ready, so... Hold on. I need, someone redeem a drink, please. I'm not stalling, I just need a drink because my throat is shot. Oh dear, 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 dear. There we go. Right. Vocal cords are warmed up and ready. He actually redeemed the drink. Cheers, David. Right, fine. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You gave love a bad name. I'll play my part and play your game. You gave love a bad name. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Whoa, living on a prayer. You're welcome, David. I am that bored. We're not even a half race distance. God! David said I loved it. You're welcome. Right. You know what? You know what? I'm not. You know. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Because there's nothing else to talk about. Silverside boy saying join their party. No. David answered that for me. To be fair, Silverside boy, the answer was going to be no, but I feel like it's a bit more. I think it's a bit more. Not the what's the opposite of subtle? Appropriate. That David said no. But away we go for the third time on the safety car. Bourbon Boy started from the back, now at the head of the table. As around the final few corners he goes, Bourbon Boy leads the way. Diamond now back in what he would be familiarised with is second place, fighting for victory. Henkes, but AMS Drive, right, the shark in the water tonight around this tropical storm of Marina Bay. I think Storm Cyril, let alone Storm Kieran, is going to be running ravage and riot down Raffles Boulevard against Henkes, but Henkes gets the gap he needs to pull ahead of AMS Drive. Reese, familiar territory, staying at the back of that Aston Martin for the past 15 laps going on. Robin Dreppel very late there, looking for a move against the Alpha Tauri. Tomcat, Genevieve, Silverside Boy and Jock, the remaining drivers left in this race. Yes, yeah, David, yes. I know I said that, but good laugh, eh? You know what? F1 audio lap, anyone? As there goes Jock down the inside of Silverside Boy, and Silverside Boy now out of the points, and the only one not scoring so far. Sad times. Look for a response maybe against Jock. Not quite there as the Red Bull driver, but now Reese down around the outside. It's AMS Drive. That's late. That's very late on the brakes there from AMS Drive. And he had to get that stopped, or he was careering into the side of Henkes, who I think now is getting a little bit of a hurry up here against the AMS Drive, and he's basically said, if you're not speeding up, I'm just going to go by you. AMS Drive now has that buffer between himself and Reese, which lasted for approximately 250 yards. As now Reese around the outside of Henkes, and he's now dispatched the Mercedes. Now it's Robin's turn to have a go against Henkes, and Henkes now out of shape. He's going to be out of line towards turn one with 3 wide. Jock filters in line behind the Mercedes, and Robin forces his way through. Up to 5th now is AlphaTauri. Dreppel now goes through, and so does Tomcat. Henkes has lost 5 places in 5 corners, and now make that 7 places in 6 corners for Henkes. Shoved out of line, and he got completely bullied down the order, now down in 10th. As he goes Jock looking for a move down the inside against Junuve, not quite there, but here goes the MS Drive against Diamond around the outside of turn 6. Diamond's going to force him towards the wall. but he just about makes it through his AMS drive, and now Reese looking to follow through as well. Reese desperate to follow AMS drive through, and it's not quite happening for himself. And he's so still looked for it here, and he's done it. Reese now up to third, and again staying at the back of that Aston Martin. In other news, lads, we've hit a half race distance to Lado's Tomcat down the inside of Drepo at the hairpin. Good move that from Tomcat, although we couldn't see anything because we were staring at the rear wing of Tomcat. Couldn't quite get the move, but I'm just going to say it's a good move. 10 out of 10. We'll get a replay of that later. Anyway, Robin now against Diamond. He wants to keep up here with Reese and AMS Drive. Wants to maybe have a slim chance at a podium, looking down the inside of Diamond in towards turn 16. Now around the outside at turn 17, the better traction, and there goes Robin. Rockin' Robin up to fourth, and that's Henkes. He got a snap out of the final corner. Oh, not quite the final corner, the final few corners, and now down at the foot of the field. Plumb last at the moment is Henkes. 3 laps after that restart, and it have all went south for the Mercedes driver, and that's exactly where he's headed down the order. And yeah, we'll just have a look at Reese. This is what he's been suffering with and staring at for 17 laps of this race. Rain on your camera, rain on your car, and an Aston Martin rear wing blinking and flashing away. Ominous, almost like it's taunting him in a way, saying you can't get past me or you can't catch me. Anyway, Tomcat has caught Diamond out there quite well and is up now to 5th place, round the outside at turn 7. And away he goes is the Haas driver. Next up for him is Robin, 3 seconds up the road. Now Drepo looking for a move down the inside at George Russell corner, and he's just about fitted 2 cars through there. Brilliant driving from the pair of them. But Drepo makes his move and is up to 6th place. Now it's a very interesting. The fight for first between Bourbon Boy, AMS Drive, and Reese's further back. Junivane making a move on Diamond at the end of the Esplanade Bridge. Yes, I said Esplanade, not Anderson. Oh well. Actually, Drepo looking around the outside of Tomcat, and I think Tomcat's just elected to let him through. Maybe it's a feeling that Drepo's faster, despite Drepo having a 3-second time penalty. I'm unsure what that's for though. Might have been a corner cut at one stage, but Robin, a fastest lap of the race, and is only 1.5 seconds behind Reese. Mate, tell a lie, he's actually catching up to Reese. There's going to be a 4-car battle here at very, very shortly. Tiddlewink in our Twitch chat has said that they forgot today was the race, but looking at the weather, they're glad that they've missed it. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that, but I'm not going to say it was good of you to forget, but I'm also not going to say it was good of you, or also not, I'm not going to say it was bad of you to miss it, you know? It's not fun driving this track in wet weather tyres. That's a bit deep there for AMS Drive. He just avoids the wall, but he's getting a little bit frustrated here and a little bit anxious, I think. Caught between the back of Bourbon Boy, and there goes Reese. This is his chance and an incentive, but he's not got the run on him again. So frustrating here for Reese. He knows he can get the move done, but he just can't get it done at the right time. Cocoms, Cruise the Doggo, do you have anything to say for us? Great analysis. He's been playing with his squeaky toys again. Actually, tell I know he's moved on to his leash. Yes, he's now playing with his dog leash. The thing that you used to take him out on a walk, he's now chewing it up. No one else like Cruise the Dog away. Anyway, AMS Drive now has a run against Bourbon Boy, but not enough to get alongside Silverside Boy, making a move against Diamond up into 9th place at the chicane. Actually, I'll turn off from this battle a little bit briefly to have a look at this 3-car scrap for 9th place. Diamond starting to really struggle on his tyres. Silverside Boy forced wide against Henk is having to defend, but he holds his place there, the Silverside boy, in 10th. As I'm going to remove leash from Cruise the Dodo because you're not meant to play with a leash. No. Go play with another toy. Go get a pee in the snow and Cruise the Dodo. Be free. And don't chew the microphone. And the top 4, as you were, but look at Dreppel. He's now starting to arrive on the scene as well. A 5-car melee at Singapore. Slowly but surely this race is starting to come alive. At least for the moment, it's starting to come alive. Tomcat a bit further back in his own little group with Junivane and Jock. Got to keep their name in the mix somewhere, but AMS Drive goes wide and the Reese again looking for the move, but not close enough to make the overtake stick. Now down towards the hairpin. Is he going to look for it here? No, he's not. He knows better, but... Oh, Drive made a mistake. He locked the rears. And is that front wing damage? But whatever this is Reese's chance. He knows he's going to make this stick. He's going to make this work. But AMS Drive, he can break to that a little bit later, and he's proven it before. Still level pegging around the outside goes Reese. Gonna have the better traction, is it? Now down the inside for turn 15 and turn 16. He's going to get the power down, and he gets the move done at long last. Reese finally gets his man for at least for a couple of metres. Now AMS Drive looking down the inside at turn 16, forces Reese deep in towards turn 17. Reese now holding it around the inside. AMS Drive around the outside, but Reese has the preferred line in towards the final few corners. Reese, is he ready to make the move stick? Yes, he is at long last for Reese. Hallelujah, the heavens have opened and a bit of sunshine has finally shone through on Reese. He's ahead of AMS Drive, but he goes deep in celebration and all that work could be undone. He's tapped AMS Drive round, he's spun. Reese and AMS Drive have come together and he's beached on the curb as the Aston Martin. Our leader is now down in 8th. Oh no. That's going to be one for the stewards, I fear. Anyway, Reese now up to 2nd place, and for the first time getting by AMS Drive. Has said bye-bye to AMS Drive and has sent him down the field. But was that AMS Drive breaking too late? Or was that Reese forcing him into a spin? I'll let you make up your minds watching the stream, but we'll see what the stewards say at the end of their report at the end of the race. Reese looking for the victory now against Bourbon Boy, but Bourbon Boy actually have his tyre life 5 laps older than Reese, and can he manage them to the end? It's going to be another 12 laps to get them to the end, so 24 laps around Singapore on a set of wets. Good luck. But Reese now looking down the inside in towards the hairpin. Both of them out drifting. Reese just about caught it, but through goes Robin and through goes Dreppel. What on earth is it with these rear lockings? Anyway, Robin is now in 2nd place. The Tier 2 driver is in with a chance of winning this race. What a Cinderella story this actually could be. As a yellow flag in sector 1, Jock has spun at turn 1, and down he goes now to 8th place, and through goes, well, at least what I thought was going to be through goes Silverside Boy, but Jock, by magic, has ghosted right in front of the Red Bull. Anyway, Robin right behind Bourbon Boy, but he's got to keep focused here with Robin. And he's got to make sure not to get too involved in what could be a fight for Bourbon Boy for 2nd place. There's actually... sure, we'll have... we'll actually look at our battery usage. Robin on 64%, Bourbon Boy on 68%, Dreppel on 90%. So Dreppel just biding his time here, but that 3-second penalty is going to be crucial for the end of this race. If it stays as it is, Dreppel will be down in 4th. Reese on 40%, 4-0 for the Red Bull driver, but he's got a good exit at the end of the hairpin, but he's going to go for it here against Dreppel. Dreppel using that batteries to defend and promptly cuts off Reese's line, and Drepo defends third for the moment. And I need to get another drink. Oh dear, thankfully I've got another bottle of juice here. MSMR, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Oh dear. 10 laps remaining here at Marina Bay. I apologise, my voice is starting to get a little bit raspy as we approach the final stages of the race. Bourbon Boy, Robin, Drepo and Reese, the top 4. We'll have a look towards the MS Drive actually, 3.5 seconds. 4 seconds actually behind his teammate. Drive might have made a mistake somewhere. But Ginevane, right behind Tomcat, but not quite close enough to think about an overtake at the end of Raffles Boulevard. Ginevane on 50% battery, Tomcat on 60% battery. 4 seconds between Tomcat and Reese. And around, actually, well, you know, 3 seconds onto that, because that's a penalty for Tomcat. That'll put him now behind Ginevane as things stand. And slowly but surely, the field are starting to get penalties. And could that be crucial for the end of the race? Because Bourbon Boy, I'm not sure how many penalties he's dealt, but Drepo, he tags the wall slightly. Is that front wing damage for the Alpine? We'll see in a moment, and I don't think it is. Oh, he's hit Robin at the back. I don't know if that's wing damage for Robin either, but it doesn't look like it's damage for Drepo. Reese looking for the overtake against the Alpine driver in towards turn 14. Breaks deep, forces Drepo to take a wider line, and Reese gets through and doesn't want that third place on penalties. He wants to go for a victory and is now up into the podium places once again. Who else is in a battle on track? Silverside Boy, a bit of no man's land actually between himself, Diamond and Henkes. All of them around a second to 2 seconds between each other on track. Jock 7 seconds behind the MS Drive, who's starting to really close up now towards Ginevane and Tomcat. As we're going to make, as I take a look here, Reese getting ahead of Robin into towards turn 1. So that's 2 out of the 3 dispatched for Reese, and now it's his turn to have it already against Bourbon Boy with 9 laps remaining at Marina Bay. The rain showing no signs of stopping, and I don't think the top 4 are going to be stopping their battle anytime soon until the checkered flag. Reese now 4 tenths behind Bourbon Boy. Robin 3 tenths behind Reese. He's starting to close up a little bit, but not close enough. Think about an overtake. There goes Ginevane. Tomcat has elected to let him through, so not wanting to hold him up here. Maybe use Ginevane to catch up to that train, fighting for the victory, and maybe, just maybe, capitalise on a few misfortunes ahead, should there be any. As there goes Reese. Reese has made a mistake there. As I'm getting so occupied with that fight with Ginevane, I've missed out again. Reese doing what C. Davies did, but managed to catch it, and Robin now back into second place. And Bourbon Boy will be loving this. Second place changing all the time like hot potato, and no one can really challenge a Williams driver who's so far 8 laps away from an incredibly unlikely and very impressive victory around Marina Bay. And it's got a whole lot better there as Reese has got a penalty. 3-second penalty for Reese. So now it's down to if Robin and Bourbon Boy can keep their noses clean. As Robin drifting it out of turn 17, Reese is going to have the run on them in towards the penultimate and final corner. But Robin takes a slightly wider line. That's going to give Reese an incentive down the inside. He is a bit drifty. And now here comes Drepo, 3 wide in towards turn 1. Reese gets the nose ahead. Robin now around the outside, and Drepo is going to get the overtake done as Robin keeps it within boundaries of the track. Had to go a little bit slower. And now it's Drepo up to third. But for the moment, it's going to be a next second place for Robin, still with the penalties ahead. Tomcat is elected also to let MS Drive, and I think Tomcat has accepted their fate of 7th place as MS Drive is full throttle, powering his way down Raffles Boulevard to catch up to his teammate Ginevane, who are actually both in turn, starting to make inroads towards the top 4. That gap's now 3.4 seconds as we make our way towards turn 8. Junivane slowly starting to catch up, and you can actually see the back of Robin's car going through George Russell corner. Yes, I've said George Russell corner quite a few times in this race because it just is. Shout out to the F1 community and Google Maps for memeing the hell out of George Russell bossing this race. Junivane now through the hairpin. That gap now it's under 3 seconds. No, it was for a moment under 3 seconds, now 3.2. But EMS Drive, surely if you're Junivane, you've got to let EMS Drive through. And if you want a victory for the team, he's your best bet for the moment. Still look between EMS Drive and Junivane. 3.5 seconds. Junivane has lost a lot of time there going through turn 15 and turn 16. 6 laps remaining in Singapore. Bourbon Boy, Reese, Drepo, Robin, the top 4 as it stands, but Robin starting to get a little bit detached as the top 3 start to close up and make inroads as Robin snapping again at the exit of turn 3, and Junivane has elected to let EMS Drive through. So that is critical for the race. Can EMS Drive catch back up to the lead group? That's now 4 seconds between himself and Robin, and around 6 seconds for victory. And EMS Drive actually weaving down the straight, I think, wanting Junivane to possibly, I wouldn't say surrender their attack, but rather not fight, as both of them are in the hunt for a podium place. As Drepo right behind Reese, looking for an overtake against the Red Bull. Still not close enough though, but both of these drivers on penalties. So wherever they finish on track is going to be the final order in the race. Apologies for that. I had to catch my breath for a second. As Robin now right behind Drepo, and look at that. The gap between Robin and EMS Drive, 2.9 seconds. That's a second alone that EMS Drive has caught up towards the AlphaTauri. Oh my goodness, it's been a long race. 5 laps remaining at Marina Bay. Bourbon Boy holding firm and holding strong at the top of the field. But can he hold on for just a little bit longer? Because Reese using that battery down the inside he goes at Raffles Boulevard. He's looking for it round the outside now, but Bourbon Boy, he always has that extra car length to make, just to make it stick and make his car as wide as possible. Oh no! Oh no. Reese has dropped it and is out of the race. And oh my. AMS Drive now up in 3rd. Drepo without a front wing is now down in 5th, and Tomcat pushing him down towards turn 12. Bourbon Boy now leads the way by 3 seconds over Robin. This race has completely been turned on its head, just so we all know. Yeah. I don't know what happened. All I know is it did happen. AMS Drive now 1.5 seconds behind Robin and 5 seconds away from victory. But actually, look at our leader graphic. 5 seconds, near enough exactly. Now 4.8 seconds And David adding his 2 pence to what's just happened, as Drepo has just compounded at a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and now surely now put him down in 10th. David has said that Reese made his car as wide as possible, but he turned it sideways. But suppose that's one way of looking at it. Anyway, MS Drive 4.4 behind Bourbon Boy, and on 5-lap fresher tyres, Bourbon Boy showing really strong tyre management to get these tyres as far as he has, and is so far making it work for the end of the race. We've got 4 laps remaining here at Marina Bay. Can the Williams or Waterwing Racing make it a last to first? Because the MS Drive is starting to catch up, and so actually is Robin. Robin has been really impressive tonight, and yes, emphasis on really. Robin, actually, yeah, he's really starting to catch up with the Bourbon Boy. Bourbon Boy could be on tyre management, just trying to eke these tyres to the end of the race. 2 seconds between the Williams and the AlphaTauri, and 3.6 between Bourbon Boy and the Aston Martin of the MS Drive, who's caught up around a second, I believe, if I'm correct, on this lap. And Robin now 2 seconds. He's actually catching up and closing that gap. There is Bourbon Boy, there is Robin, and there is AMS Drive. All of these drivers within 4 seconds of each other, actually within the same straight as each other. Will jump on board with AMS Drive, going over the start-finish line to start with start lap 28, 3 laps to go in Singapore. Can AMS Drive pull out a shocked recovery and claim, I believe, their 3rd victory in Tier 1 this season? Yes, I say I believe because I haven't watched Tier 1. But AMS Drive, this will really help their cause for 2nd place in the championship and actually catch up to championship leader Object Fungus. Regardless of where they finish, they need points to make their claim for another podium finish overall. But Robin, 1.1 seconds, 1 second between Bourbon Boy and Robin. The AlphaTauri giving it absolutely everything he can and more to make his way for a very impressive victory. Bourbon Boy, an outsider to win the race. Robin, a debutant in Tier 1. He's competed in Tier 4 last season. Tier 4. And he's now fighting for a victory in Tier 1. I don't think we've ever seen that big of a step up in a driver, and a driver actually cope as well as he has in Robin. AMS Drive, 2.5 seconds now behind the Williams. He's gained half a second through the first 2 sectors, and as soon as Robin and Bourbon Boy start fighting, AMS Drive will be ready and waiting to strike, pounce, whatever you want to call it. Is down the new straights towards turn 16. 1.1 seconds, that gap now under 1 second between Bourbon Boy and Robin. They approach the start finish line. This time it'll be 3 laps to go in Singapore. Lap 29 of 31, 7/10 of a second covering the top 2, 2.4 seconds covering the top 3, and around 6 seconds covering the top 4. Could Junivane pull an outside chance and get on a podium should anything go wrong? But Bourbon Boy swarming out of these corners, but a full battery to his name, so you know exactly what he's going to do with that. Full pelt and full battery down these straights to defend against Robin. Is actually, yep, there he goes, using every bit of that battery he can. Robin using the battery himself to try and catch up. He is closing, but not closing enough as Drepo picks up a consolation prize. I wouldn't even say a prize, rather, just more of a consolation in fastest lap. Considering how this race could have went for Drepo, a poor start, but he recovered to get in the fight for the victory. But one mistake and one moment of misfortune has completely derailed the Alpine's performance. But he has made up 1 place against Henkes, and it's another place in his Diamond, and Diamond not really going to fight this too hard, but he's going to make it awkward for Drepo, as down the inside Drepo goes on much fresher tyres. 14 lap fresher tyres. Diamond, you're not winning that fight. as Drapo now up to 8th place, but on a time penalty of 3 seconds. And now look at this, 1.8 seconds between the top 3. Bourbon Boy and Robin, 4/10. AMS Drive 1.3 further back from these two. Can Bourbon Boy hold on to the end? This is very like Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, and then behind you've got the said Mercedes of, well, you're not going to mention it, said Mercedes hunting them down towards the end. Bourbon Boy taking an awkward line there, making it awkward for Robin. It's now 1 second covering the top 3 with the penultimate lap of racing left in Marina Bay. 2 laps to go as Robin looked for it down inside at turn 2. He had to back out of it, but that is now firmly put AMS Drive in the mix to make up these places and win after what has been a stellar recovery from the Aston Martin driver. Robin, the outsider, Bourbon Boy at the back. AMS Drive, he had this race under his belt, but he had to recover from 8th place with around 12 laps to go and make up around 12 seconds actually to this pack. But he made a slight mistake there going through turn 6. That's how he put him back behind Robin. And now Robin, you see how close he is to the back of Bourbon Boy. Bourbon Boy on 5 lap older tyres as we got crackling earlier. Right, well, it turns out it isn't the old headset's issues, it's just an issue with Twitch. Love it. Anyway, a lap and a half to go in Marina Bay. Bourbon Boy, Robin, AMS Drive. I think Junuvane is going to accept 4th, and still 4th place has been a very strong effort for Junuvane. We'll look at our positions graphic and see that Junuvane up 7 places to pick up 4th. Robin up 3 places to pick up what's currently 2nd. But Bourbon Boy, as I said, started last and is now leading the way as we approach the final lap here in Marina Bay. Can he survive one more lap of an onslaught and an attack? But he's going to get a good advantage here because Robin made a mistake going through the chicane. But it's now 6/10 of a second with a final lap of racing here in Marina Bay. Can Bourbon Boy make this one of the best victories of his career and one of the most outside victories in FPRL? Can he complete the last to first challenge in this lead race? Or will Robin and AMS Drive spoil the party as we head down Raffles Boulevard for the final time in this race? Robin, a bit of a poor run, and all that fast rate Bourbon Boy stored is being deposited with good use down the straight and further back. Jock actually recovering up to 5th. Drapo holding station in 7th and not quite really is actually going to probably take 7th place unless Silverside Boy stays within 3 seconds of the Alpine driver. Now Robin, look, 2/10 of a second actually pushing Bourbon Boy around these corners, and there's AMS Drive. We see how close all 3 of them are, but where do you overtake around here? I think the last chance is really down the end of the Anderson Bridge. Can Bourbon Boy survive that final attack? Or will Robin launch the final assault against the Williams? Did I look for it? Then the chicane, he's got a bit twitchy there under braking. That might be his chance ruined as we head down the Anderson Bridge for the final time. Bourbon Boy has a gap of 9/10 of a second. Robin, that one mistake might have been critical for both of these drivers to pick up this victory, and I think that's going to be all she wrote here in Singapore as Bourbon Boy down towards turn 16 for the final time. He sees in the background there through the haze and the mist is Robin and AMS Drive. The both of them launching the final assault towards the end, but it's Bourbon Boy who'll have the final laugh. He started at the back, he rose his way to the top, and in the sea of Singapore, the rain falls and Bourbon Boy has rose to the top of the podium. He wins in Marina Bay. Robin will take 2nd place. Not bad for a tier 2 driver. And AMS Drive, after that collision with Reese, will recover for a podium. Junuvane will take 4th, Jock will take 5th, Tomcat 6th, Drapo will take 7th, Silverside Boy just not close enough to Drapo, but he's going to be satisfied with... Actually, no, he is close enough. Drapo had 8 seconds of penalties per than me, not 5. So Silverside Boy will take 7th place, an even better result for the Red Bull. And then further back, Diamond and Henkes will round out the points finishers and the remaining finishers in the race. But that, last to first for Bourbon Boy. And that was quite the ending to what was a somewhat thrilling Singapore Grand Prix. And we'll step the podium celebrations. These drivers want to get out of their soaking wet race suits and get dried off. Bourbon Boy, Robin and AMS Drive, the podium for tonight. And, you know what, we'll throw an invite to all of these drivers and maybe get a quick word with some of them, or hopefully all of them. And Reese in the chat saying that was not a thrilling drive, that was painful. I know, Singapore in the wet is not fun. Genuvian will take 4th, Jock 5th, Tomcat from 10th to 6th, a good effort from Tomcat. Silverside Boy will take 7th, Drep will take 8th, Diamond 9th, Henkes will take 10th. And as mentioned, that does it for the points finishers. Jensen out on lap 1, C Davies on lap, C Davies crashing out on lap 8, Ermine, Legends and Nigel and Reese, the drivers not to see the checker flag. Diamond saying, good to know to not take the tyres that far. How many laps was it, Diamond? That was 23 laps on a set of wets. Yeah, good knowledge to not take them that far. And actually, we have cracked the 1 hour mark. We have cracked the 1 hour mark for our lead race. 1 hour, 2 minutes, 46 seconds. Without a doubt, the longest lead race I have had to commentate over. And an appearance from Cruz de Resta's karaoke with Bon Jovi. Robin saying that he won't be able to get in for an interview, but still, what a performance from Robin. Really is. And, oh look, 3 stickers for watching a race. We are so on our way to 100. 92. We're getting there. End of stream, end of season, whatever compendium pack opening is gonna go for it. Anyway, to the showroom we go for our podium. We get the Aston Martin up on screen for our 3rd place driver, AMS Drive, who is here in the party. So AMS Drive, what it could have been for you. Yes, it's a bit of a brain fart. Be sure to include your audio if you can. There we go. Hopefully that picks up on the stream, but still, I think AMS Drive mentioning that it was really tough to adapt to the weather and to the rain. A full wet race. Goodness, that must have been horrible. No, I think it came through for the question, but. I think we can. And we'll move on and then we'll be able to know. If not, I can just say what you said. But still, was around, what, 12 seconds after that collision with Reese. Could you maybe give your side of the incident? Because it looked as though Reese didn't really give you much room there on the inside at turn 3. Yeah, I don't think your audio was getting picked up, but just a quick summary of what Amos Drive has said. It was just two different lines, and they both crossed over at the wrong point, and getting beached in the curb cost them a lot of time to make up, but getting caught in the dirty air of the cars in front, just obviously would lose a lot of grip and just couldn't quite make the move when it mattered towards the end. But still, third place, and it's more, I suppose it's third place, more points you had than when you started. But going on to, I believe it's Qatar next week for yourself. That, well, you know, I'm not even gonna ask if that's one of your favourites, because pre-season tells, I remember. But how many drivers did you plan on lapping in that race? Kidding. Yeah, I think the goal is obvious for you, and that's going to be to get number one. Amos Drive saying that the field spread might not be as present around Qatar. A lot of very fast-paced corners, and the goal is always to pick up pole and the win. And I think third place will have to do for tonight. And well done to MS Drive. That's what I'll say as well. Well done. But a bit unfortunate to only be third. P2, Robin. Wow. No, I think no words needed for the AlphaTauri's drive tonight, but Bourbon Boy, what a way to pull out the upset. Last to first challenge, tick that off the list, and well done on what would probably be one of your best victories, I think, in your league racing career.
Yes, in some ways. I was probably about 3-4 seconds off the pace as soon as my tires hit about 30%. But due to the game being the game, as long as you stick your car on an apex, they can't really do anything regardless of how fresh the tires are. So I can't just use that to my advantage, and I might have broken too early for a few corners, but I think everything I did was just about fair. But yeah, probably the slowest league race win I've ever gonna get.
Yeah, but I suppose that's another thing as well. A 1 hour plus serious focus needed for this race, and you certainly delivered that in abundance. Some very strong defending towards the end, and I think, in all honesty, it did look as though you had that covered. You just managed your battery and drove a very steady, managed race to get your tires over the line.
Yeah, I think my tyres finished on about 70, so just about before they went off a cliff. Yeah, I kind of just, if I had like a full 10th gap, I was like, oh, it's fine going to a braking zone. My biggest fear was someone dive bombing it at the bridge, because if someone dived on the bridge, they were just going to out-traction me. But luckily, it didn't happen, so yeah. I don't know what else to say apart from didn't really expect the win there.
I don't think many of us expected it. But on to, same as the MS Drive, on to Qatar next week. Could you go back to back?
I wouldn't say it's one of my best tracks, but I wouldn't say it's awful either. It's probably just be getting the track with no penalties. But I wouldn't put myself favourite for the win anyway.
Well, never say never. And I think that's going to be probably the tagline for tonight's race. Never say never. And Bourbon Boy, congratulations on, I think, your second victory of the season, or would this be your first?
I think it's my first.
Well, there you go. You made in victory and you did it in style. Yeah. So congratulations to you and to the Williams team for your first victory of the season, and that's going to be it for tonight's Tier 1 Singapore Grand Prix. Thank you all very much for tuning in and for watching on this Thursday night. FPRL will be back tomorrow night, Friday the 3rd of June, where our Tier 2 drivers take to Marina Bay before Bonfire Night, the 5th of November. Tier 4 round out our week at Marina Bay before we pack up and head back to the Middle East for the Qatar Grand Prix, a track which I'm slowly starting to like, but track limits will play a part in the final result. So keep your nose clean. And Hussein stop Stiffmeister winning by 45 seconds. Oh wait, no, it was only 25 seconds, my bad. Sorry Stiff, love you really. That's going to be it. As I said, a big thank you. Well, thank you to Cruz Dordo for keeping me entertained, and David Lawface for the Bon Jovi song. I know, I'm sorry, my singing voice isn't up to par. But before we do though, our driver of the day. Oh dear, this is where I would hope to have another voice to help, because there's a lot of candidates for this one. Jock recovered well to pick up the result. Junivane from 11th to 4th, another good result. MS Dry for the recovery. Robin for getting second. And yourself, Bourbon Boy, for winning from last on the grid. You know, just purely because I can only pick one driver, I'm gonna give it to our race winner, Bourbon Boy. But there's like 4 people that deserve it. Some monumental performances in this race. And at 1 hour and 2 minutes for 31 laps of Singapore, you do the maths. Roughly 2 minutes a lap around this track. Serious focus, but Bourbon Boy, driver of the day and victory for yourself, so congratulations for that. And before we do though, be sure to check out twitch.tv/FP Racing League. This is where we stream all of our races on Twitch. And as mentioned, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday, 8 PM UK time is when we go live and lights out for our qualifying and race. You don't want to miss a second of it. And also, before I do forget, we have a Formula 2 server, FPRL, and our Saturday Night Showdown series. That'll obviously be Saturday night, who would have thought. 8 PM UK time also, where we believe we are approaching the midway stage of that campaign. Be sure to check out FPRL channel on Saturday nights for F2RL, and our main races Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday, 8 PM UK time. And be sure to check out our Twitter, Facebook, TikTok as well. We have a TikTok up. Be sure to send some clips in as well, and they'll hopefully get famous, whatever algorithm is chosen. But don't forget as well, we'll see you all tomorrow night with Monkey Boy Kurt and David Lawface in the commentary box. Hopefully all things go well for our Tier 2 race. And this has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you all very much for watching, and from all of us here at FPRL, good night, and I am off for some soothers and a lie down. I'll see you all very, very soon.